Hi everyone, how many of you have been to the Grand Canyon? Oh, 100% of our audience, that's good. President Theodore Roosevelt called the Grand Canyon the one great sight that every American should see. We're fortunate to have this great national wonder right here in the state of Arizona. But most people, when they go to the canyon, they just go there to take in the sights, take a few pictures, and then leave. But there's so much more to learn about the canyon that meets the eye. Today I'm going to share with you a theory on how it was formed, called the lake overflow theory, that I studied in a geology class last semester. This information is worth knowing even if you're not a geology major, so you can better understand the canyon and see it from a different point of view. As stated in National Geographic, for a long time scientists believed that the Grand Canyon was carved out slowly over millions of years. But geologists now think that the Grand Canyon grew in quick spurts from massive flooding. The Grand Canyon is unique because it cuts right through a big obstruction called the Kaiblat Plateau. As you can see in this photograph, the plateau is much higher than the surrounding landscape because it has snow on it and the surrounding landscape does not. So why didn't the Colorado River flow around it like you'd think it should? The plateau formed a huge earthen dam, and two large lakes formed behind it, each the size of Lake Michigan today. Places like Minot Valley, the Painted Desert, and Petrified Forest are all on the bottom of this dry lake bed. This area of northern Arizona is covered in layers of sedimentary mudstone, limy sands, and clays. And the fossils in this region are of freshwater fish, shells, and amphibians, which should all be found around the lake. If you drive up past Cameron on Highway 89, then you'll see that the area does look a lot like a dry lake bed. So how did the canyon form? Well, simply, the lake's here, it overfills and spills over the Kaiblat Plateau at a low point, and that rushing water carved out the canyon. Based on the elevation change, it's estimated that the water was flowing at about 120 miles an hour, which would carve through the rock extremely rapidly. You may be interested to know that Dr. John Douglas, a geology professor at PVCC, is one of the leading experts on the geology of the canyon. This is a film clip of him that was filmed in 2007 for a National Geographic documentary.
John Douglas, geography professor at Paradise Valley Community College in Arizona, wanted an effective way to test the theory. He built a small-scale model of the Grand Canyon to demonstrate how the lake could have overflowed. 6 million years ago, the canyon wasn't yet carved, but Lake Bittahoche was full to the point of overflow.
And as the lake came in, the lake filled. It filled and filled, higher and higher and higher, until eventually it spilled across the lowest point, across the Kaiblat Plateau, and then water poured down the other side. Those waterfalls continue to retreat back, and the whole time you're cutting Grand Canyon.
Douglas suggests that Lake Bittahoche drained and formed a stream. The steep gradient of the riverbed caused the stream to cut deep into the rock. Over time, the size of the stream increased, and more water poured out of the lake, which in turn cut deeper and deeper into the rock.
And you can see in this picture that his scale model does look a lot like the real Grand Canyon. But even though Dr. Douglas proposed the theory recently, the theory was first proposed in 1861 by John Strong Newberry. But the idea is even older than that, for tales of a great flood carving out the canyon can be found in ancient Havasupai and Hualapai Indian legends. The legend goes that soon after the waters of heaven stopped pouring down, the flood upon the earth found a way to rush to the sea. And as it dashed down, it cut through the rocks of the plateaus until the canyon was formed, through which the water rushed out into the sea of the sunset. Then, as the sun shone, the ground became hard and solid as we find it today. So now we see that the evidence shows that instead of a little water acting over a very long period of time, it was formed by a lot of water acting over a very short period of time. And so the next time you go to visit the canyon, you'll be able to have a new understanding of it and be able to impress your friends and family with your knowledge of the lake overflow theory. Thank you.